to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was trucking up the highway, minding my own lane, with some dude in a Prius went and flipped me off. Guess my redneck hit him wrong. Seems like everyone these days is a ticking time bomb full of hate for folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change. And it gets me thinking, leave this long-haired country boy.
Hey everybody, this is Jon Marietta, and we're back on our podcast / radio show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and let's get started. Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. That's Isaiah 1:18. Folks, I'll tell you what, that version right there sets the tone for what we're trying to do on this program today. Not shout out each other or shout each other down. Not pick teams and dig ditches, but actually reason together. Because this country only works when voters hear all sides, not just ones handpicked for them. The ballot doesn't belong to party insiders. It belongs to you. And if you're expected to make a decision, then you deserve to hear directly from the people asking for your vote, not filters, not middlemen, not carefully managed narratives. That's what we're doing here. In the coming weeks, we'll be inviting Republican Lieutenant Governor nominee Jason Ritchie, Republican gubernatorial nominee Stacey Garrity. Also, be extending invitations to Democrats like Josh Shapiro and Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, along with candidates from the Green Party and the Constitution Party. Everyone gets the same opportunity on my show because strong ideas don't need protection. They stand on their own. And if they can't, well, the voters deserve to see that also. Today, we're starting conversation with a candidate who's been willing to challenge the system from the outside. Joining us is the Libertarian candidate for Lieutenant Governor, former U.S. Senate candidate, college professor, Jon Thomas. He's a former believer in Austrian economics and is running alongside Libertarian gubernatorial candidate Ken Kowalczyk. I think I have that right. Kowalczyk. Okay. You may not agree with him. You may not. But we're going to hear him unfiltered, the way it should be. Because this show isn't about telling what you think. It's about making sure you have the information you think for yourself. So let's go to it. God bless each and every one of you for tuning in. I want to thank you. It's been a wild ride for these 3 weeks we started this. Jon Thomas, I guess that's how I'm going to refer to you as the Lieutenant Governor candidate. I want to thank you for coming on with me. It's going to be let's give it a ride for a half hour and see what happens. And if we like it, we'll get back on that horse and try her again another day. How's that?
That sounds great, Jon. And I really appreciate especially that part of the welcome where you said you want to hear from all sides. A lot of people say, I want to hear from both sides, pretending that there are only two sides out there, but there are often third or fourth or fifth sides to stories. So the fact that you presented it as I want to hear from all sides is great. Now, one little correction to your introduction there. I'm not a college professor. I work for I've worked in K through 12 schools for the past over 16 years, I guess. So never at the college level yet, but hey, I'm still relatively young. That could happen.
Well, I will tell you that if you become lieutenant governor, which I want to make sure you understand something. We need to fix the internet in a big way here in southwestern Pennsylvania. We have a terrible time with it, and from what I'm understanding, it's clear across the state again today. So I don't know what's going on, but I got a question for you to start out with. It's Austrian economics. Did I have that correct?
Yes, Austrian economics. It's a school of economic thought that was founded by people like Carl Manger in the late 1800s. It's a very free market oriented way to look at economics. It starts with the idea that of marginal utility, where you don't look at value does not necessarily come from the amount of labor that goes into something. It comes from it's a subjective experience. You value something based on your own personal preferences. I value something else based on my personal preferences. So for a long time, people assumed that value came from the amount of labor that went into things. But we know that's not the case. We inherently know that. We know that just because somebody puts a lot of time and effort into producing a piece of junk work of art, people aren't going to buy it. Whereas somebody else who's a fantastic artist might spend a significantly less amount of time producing something, but because it's a quality piece, it's valued quite highly. So it was really the Austrians who really developed that idea that value is more of a subjective experience than something objective, depending on the amount of labor that goes into something.
Okay, that's kind of a neat perspective to look at the way of looking at things. Yeah, I can go along with that. There's probably a lot of people who ask me what party I belong to, and of course I am a Republican, and I don't take that away from. I mean, I think that I want everybody to understand that I'm a Republican, but I really feel that I'm more of a Christian constitutionalist than anything. A lot of people don't understand that, but I do think that that's where we need. That's what's going to change the way this country operates. That's the way it's going to change the way this state operates. It's going to be the Constitution, and it's going to be the power of God to make things happen. So I know that you said you taught school K through 12 for so many years.
Yeah, I've worked for cyber charter schools specifically for that amount of time. So I've worked in schools of choice. So we as libertarians are big on school choice, on allowing families to choose where they send their students to school. One of the big initiatives that Ken and I have running for governor and lieutenant governor is a way to provide more school choice for families. So right now, Pennsylvania spends about $25,000 per student per year on education. It's a wild amount. Like, to think about to put that in perspective, from kindergarten through 12th grade, on one student, Pennsylvania can expect to spend about $300,000 on just one student. It's an absurd amount of money that we spend on education. So what Ken and I would do would be to basically, about 11,000 of that comes from the state level. The rest of it comes from your local property taxes, which are insanely expensive across the state of Pennsylvania. We would like to significantly lower the property taxes. And the way we do that is take that $11,000 that the state currently spends at the state level in education, send that to the families, and privatize all of the schools. So every family has 11 grand per student per year. They can spend it on where they want to send their kid to school. The government schools, your favorite teachers at those government schools, they can go on teaching. They would just have to find a way to do that in a private economic system, and we would vastly improve our educational outcomes, because we all know, as a constitutional conservative, I'm sure you understand this, John, that the government, the more they get involved in, the worse things get, right? Like, we know that the free market provides better solutions other than maybe in like areas like military or police where it might be more difficult to find the free market answer. But in areas like schools where you can have competition, we've had competition in American history in school systems. We have competition in the second area and the post-secondary area between universities. People come from all over the world to go to American colleges and universities. Maybe not so much the more they get woke, but historically, it has been the case where people all over the world come to American universities because we still have a lot of competition in our university systems, whereas a lot of countries have already provided universal secondary education. They make them government schools. So we don't have people flocking here for our K through 12 schools, though. That's because our K through 12 schools are, let's face it, kind of lousy at this point. And a free market system would stand to correct that. Right now, I work for charter schools. They are public schools, but they're also schools of choice. So the fact that parents can choose to send their kids there give us, those of us who work in that system, an incentive to innovate and provide for the families what they want. We would just like to expand that as part of our campaign.
So far we're really good. I think we'll be able to work together a little bit. The biggest thing that I can see that needs to be taken care of in the next as soon as possible. And as Lieutenant Governor, you're in charge of the Senate. I know that, but the biggest thing that we need to do right as of now is, in my opinion, is we have to unleash this energy sector here in Pennsylvania, and we have to get things rolling. We need to be making. I often go back to the I think it was South Dakota, or was it North Dakota? I think it was South Dakota. They're building railroads. They're building railroads in West Virginia, and I know that there's a difference between what's going on there. I mean, it's not the same. Obviously, it's not the same amount of bureaucracy in North Dakota and West Virginia as we have in Pennsylvania. And I think that's what we got to do. We got to get rid of the bureaucracy. We got to get people in power, or people in places that can make good decisions, and we can get things rolling again. For Pennsylvania, I guess I didn't ask you what part of the state you're from, but Pennsylvania is sitting, our part of the state down here in southwest corner, we're sitting on more natural gas than Saudi Arabia can ever produce. And we need to make that happen. We need to use that and we need to make energy with it. We don't need to sell it. We need to make energy with it, and then sell the energy somewhere else. And actually, there's enough here that we shouldn't even have to pay taxes.
Yeah, well, I'm from Western Pennsylvania, so I know about the amount of oil that the amount of natural gas that we're sitting on, and the regulations on energy here in Pennsylvania are really shooting ourselves in the foot. I live close to 2 power plants. They were clean coal-fired power plants, but because of the regulations that have put on them, they both shut down. That was a lot of jobs out of both Armstrong and Indiana counties, right where I live, that were lost due to regulations that are put on the energy providers. And you're right, energy is the key to the future. We're looking at like an AI future that some people are afraid of, some people are embracing it. Regardless of what you feel about it, it takes energy to run. And the states that are freeing their energy production, those are the states where new jobs are going to be found. Those are the states where more money is going to be invested. Those are the states that are going to be the wave of the next 75 years. And it happens right now. Right now we're at the foundation level of this AI wave, and whoever's producing the energy, they're going to be they're going to be the ones who are making the breakthroughs. And you're right, we have it right here in Pennsylvania. Let's free it. Let's make it happen.
Yep. I mean, I've said this more than once. I'm really, really appalled, and it really makes me mad that U.S. Steel went to Arkansas and spent $12 billion to build a plant to make steel down there, when we had everything they need right here in southwestern Pennsylvania, and our politicians, our county commissioners are and it goes clear to the county commissioners. The county commissioners, our mayors in the bigger towns, our state senators, just would not do what they needed to do. That should have never been built anywhere but in southwestern Pennsylvania.
With our rivers, with our natural resources here, and already the capital is here. The capital was here for steel production. It's been here for 150 years. But companies need to make money. That's why they don't exist to provide jobs. That's a big mistake that a lot of the leftists make. They say, oh, companies exist to make jobs. No, they don't. They exist to make money. And if you put barriers in their way to making money, you're going to see them leave. And those jobs that are a kind of a byproduct, that's not the purpose of them existing. That's a byproduct of them existing. Those jobs are going to disappear too. So the way you create jobs from a government's perspective is you allow businesses to make money. You make this the state where they're going to see the greatest opportunity to make money. And the way you do that is by reducing the regulations. There is we have an army of regulators in Harrisburg. And a lot of times, you're right, the county commissioners are making bad decisions on the local level, but a lot of times that's because they're answering to some regulator out of Harrisburg who's telling them that, hey, your county has to meet this standard, or your county has to meet this other standard. How about we leave the county, like from a state level, we leave the counties alone and let them be free to attract businesses. But a lot of times what it happens is the state regulators get on a power trip and they chase out the job producers, they chase out the income producers, and they chase out. Now, I'm not a big tax guy, but we also lose tax revenue whenever those companies run down south.
Without a doubt. I mean, just the income tax that they've lost because of people going. We've talked about jobs. We've talked about a couple of different things here. We talked about the energy. The one thing that property taxes, especially school taxes and property taxes, are out. They're almost unsustainable right now for people. What's left of the middle class. I mean, you're paying on your house for 30 or 40 years, and then you turn around and you still have to pay, property taxes on it. So you're really not owning it. You're just renting it from the government. So yeah, what do we need to do about that? What's your answer for property taxes?
It's one of the worst taxes you can imagine. I think of, like, imagine a married couple, a man and a woman who have been married for 50 years. He's retired, collecting a pension. She's been a homemaker most of her life, and he passes away. Their income tax is going to decline because they lost his pension. They lost the income he's going to take in. Their income tax is going to decline, but their property tax stays the same. They have no more income coming in. She's not only going to lose her husband, she's going to lose her home. The home that she spent her lifetime making, the house that she spent her lifetime making into a home, it's going to be gone. The state's going to take it from her. How absurd is that? How evil is that? That's not just wrong. That is evil. You're taking homes from little old ladies. And absolutely, it is an evil tax. One of the ways we fix that, John, is with the educational plan that I was talking about before. We could virtually eliminate the school property tax. Now, I have not dug deep into this, but I was just playing around with AI the other day. I put our educational plan in there saying we would send $11,000 to the families per student. This would provide an incentive for private firms who know that they can run schools better than the government can to buy the local school buildings. And I asked Grok, what would you expect that to be a one-time revenue, the one-time revenue for that to be? And Grok estimated it to be $60 billion. That would entirely pay for the schools under Ken and my plan for 5 years. 5 years just by selling the school buildings. So that would be that would virtually eliminate all but the county level taxes, which, as you know, most of the property taxes goes to school. So it would completely eliminate the portion of property taxes that goes to schools.
The other tax that's appalling in Pennsylvania is fuel tax.
Oh my goodness! Yes,
you're gonna laugh. Yeah, I mean, it's an absurdity what we pay in fuel taxes in Pennsylvania. Second highest in the country.
One of my favorite memes that I created was one of the Padme and Anakin memes. It's the one where you have Anakin saying something and then Padme saying, "You don't mean this, do you?" And then he gives her the eye. It's like, so it was Anakin saying, "Here in Pennsylvania, we have the second highest gas tax in the country and the most expensive toll road in the world." Padme says, "But at least you have nice roads, right?" And then Anakin gives a look and she's like, "You have nice roads, right?" And of course, we live in Pennsylvania. We know we don't have nice roads. We pay all these taxes on gas. We pay all these the highest toll road in the world. The PA Turnpike is the most expensive toll road in the world. And yet we have terrible roads. The Pennsylvania government taxes us 50 some cents per gallon of gas. 50 some cents per gallon every time you fill up your tank. And that's supposed to go towards road maintenance, but it obviously does not, because you could, I've heard of people falling into a Pennsylvania pothole and not being heard from for 8 months until they come out somewhere in Australia. It's ridiculous, the level of roads that we have.
Well, I thought our roads was really bad around where we live, but I had to make a trip up 79 the other day, and I'll tell you what, it was horrible. I mean, when I got up there, I had to check the air and all the tires because that's how bad the road was. It's just horrible.
Yeah, and I thought it was a Western Pennsylvania thing.
I take it you live somewhere.
Well, I do live in Western Pennsylvania, but not far from 79. And I thought that it was a Western. I think we're breaking up.
No, it's everywhere but Harrisburg.
Yeah. That's.
I will tell you, I used to do business a long time ago with somebody from Arkansas, and we were doing business together, and I made a trip down there, and I said to him, I said, "Man," I said, "your roads." And they says, "Yeah, we got one good road." And I said, "Where's that?" And they said, "It goes to the back of the governor's mansion. Bill Clinton had it put in." So anyways, I guess it was for people to be able to get in and out the back. But I want to thank you for coming on, and we can have you on again and do some updates and things. If somebody wants to sign or somebody wants to support you, what do they have to do?
They can go to KenK4PA.com. That's KenK4PA.com. Everything's running through Ken's campaign. I'm just the lieutenant governor candidate. So it's kind of like you don't see JD Vance having his own website. He was just directing people to Donald Trump's website. Same for me. I'm just directing everybody to KenK4PA. You can KenK4PA.com. You can donate through that site. One thing that we're really looking for right now is people to help collect signatures or to sign our petitions. You can
ask that.
Yeah, we need about 5,000 valid signatures. So our goal is 10,000 signatures. If you can just sign up there, we can send you a petition. You can sign that. It has a spot for 50 people to sign it. If you want to sign it and just send it back to us with just one signature, we'll take that. But also, if we send you one, we would love it if you got at least your wife or your husband to sign for us. Maybe your adult kids or your aunts and uncles, just your family. That would be great if you could get like 10 or 15 signatures on there. If you can fill it up with 50, that's even better. But yeah. Reach out to us, give us your mailing address. We can get a petition in your hands.
Well, there's going to be a lot of events down here in southwestern PA. So you have to turn in your petitions August.
Yeah, towards the end of August. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but we can do like 4th of July festivities. A lot of fairs happen in July and early August. We can do lots of summer events happening, and I would love to make it down to Fayette County for some. When is the Fayette County Fair is huge. When's that fair?
Yeah, I believe it starts. I'm wanting to say it ends on August the 8th this year, but I think I got that right. But we'll put that graphic up, and we're going to be doing some stuff at the fair. But it starts like the last Thursday of July, I believe, and then it goes through till the 8th or 10th or something of August.
So we'll have to see about getting signatures down there. That's a fun fair, and that's during our signature window.
Yeah, I think yeah, and we're gonna have other events happening down here. I'd like to get you down to, and because I really believe in giving people the choice. I know that the Republican Party don't like that idea, but that's okay. I've been
well, hey John, let me tell you, like a lot of people do assume that libertarians take from the Republicans, but I'll give you an example where what I do could actually help Republican candidates sometimes. During my Senate run, I had one event with Dave McCormick, and it was a Black Pastors United for Education event. And Dave McCormick's like, here's how I would like to spend more government money to have more school choice. And I was like, here's my plan to close all public schools and privatize them all. So Dave McCormick went from looking like he was Casey was trying to paint him as a right-wing extremist. But then I came in and suddenly McCormick looks like the moderate. So for those swing voters, having somebody running to their right does help them to help the Republicans look a little bit more moderate. So Republicans don't see that often, but that is something that we do.
Well, I appreciate it. One more time, let's give out that contact information.
If you want to reach me directly, you can reach me at john@kenk4pa.com. That's john@kenk4pa.com. Or you can just go to our website. You can sign up to donate, sign up for our contact list there. And that website is kenk4pa.com.
Okay. And I really appreciate you being on with me. We'll keep on keeping on, and I'll get you back on again. I know I got some other candidates we're going to reach out to. I like to give everybody a chance. I guarantee you that
Austin Davis is not doing your show, I don't think.
Well, but you know what? I will say this for Austin Davis. I was at the fair, and I have a booth at the fair. In fact, this year it looks like I'm going to have two booths at the fair. But I had a booth at the fair, and he actually came down to see me.
Oh, that's great.
Austin Davis walked right up to me and said, "I'm Austin Davis." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "I want to introduce myself. I understand you're the hillbilly." And I said, "I am." And we talked for 10 minutes, and he was a personable sort of fellow. Now I will tell you that Josh Shapiro probably not, because I do got like a lawsuit against him right now for some things that he done, but that's
So
okay.
his lawyers probably will make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I will tell you that I give Austin Davis a lot of credit. He came down and said hello.
That is commendable. That is commendable. I will say that.
And maybe he will be on my show. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
but
maybe he would.
I want to thank you for being on. We're going to get. I'm going to reach out to Jason Ritchie, and well, we just haven't got to do that yet. And I know he's a big energy guy, and I think there's somebody from the Constitution Party and probably a couple other people that we'll reach out to too. But anyway, thank you for so much for being on, and and I appreciate it. And we'll get you, if you want to be back on again. I think we can have a lot of good discussions, me and you.
Yeah, it was a great discussion. I look forward. Maybe next time we can talk. You started the show with a Bible verse. I'd love to talk about Christian governance. I'm an elder at my church. I love Jesus. Just getting have my church community group coming up here in about 2 minutes, but I would love to talk about that some with you whenever you have me back on.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, because I believe that the only way to change the government is going to be through. I hate to say the dirty word politics, but politics and God is what's going to change things. And actually, if you really think about it and you read your Bible, when you understand what happened, Jesus was a pretty good. He wasn't a politician, but he was every bit of standing against the storm as anybody could possibly do. And
he was a king. I said it past tense. He is a king. He is king. So all hail King Jesus.
Well, I'll have to ask you this. I ask a lot of people this. So how long did it take Jesus to make the whip when he walked into the tabernacle?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you ever think about that?
Well, hey, I believe he cleared the temple twice, maybe 3 times, because John talks about him doing it at the beginning of his ministry. Then we know he did it at the end of his ministry, because the 3 synoptic gospels talk about that. I assume he probably did it the second time too. Like he did it one Passover. Am I supposed to believe he didn't do it the next Passover, but did do it the third Passover? I think there's probably once he did it where it wasn't recorded. So he was probably expecting the money changers to be there whenever he got there. So maybe he just happened to have that ready to go, knowing what he would come into.
Well, yeah, and it's a good thing. I really enjoy. I can see where me and you are going to line up pretty close together.
Yeah, well, I appreciate appreciated the talk, John. I do have to get going though. I do have my community group starting like right now. I'm surprised I didn't hear them laughing and chuckling downstairs yet.
Well, maybe they're eating. Maybe they're having a cup of coffee and having a cookie or something. So, hey, it was nice talking to you. So, like on every show, I close up. On this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad, smile with the sad, love what you got, and love what you got. Remember what you had. Always forgive, but never forget. People change. Things go wrong. Just remember the ride goes on. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America. I am Jon Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly.